Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is Katie. How are you doing today? Are you doing well? I hope that. Today I'm gonna teach you about reading skill. Why I decided to make this video? Because I'm an English teacher, and when I have been teaching English for my students, a writing skill, I feel that it's quite difficult for them to come up with ideas or divide their writing into, five paragraphs or, how many parts. So that today I'm gonna give you about detailed information in relation to reading skill. I hope that I can help you to improve your reading and also your writing skill also. So today we work on reading before because it's from a very logical story. Like we read what people write before and we write for people will read, right? So that, let's see, I divided the lesson into three parts. The part one that we need to answer together a question, how many types of writing? And then we worked on two skills. First, we worked on skimming skill and then scanning skill, right? So let's seem interesting. I know you are always be ready to learn with me, right? Keep going ahead, we will be better for sure. First, we will answer how many types of writing. As I told you about logical story, we need to understand what a writer wrote the letter before or wrote article, magazines, books before, right? How about that structure of the writing? So here I divided into 5 types of writing. Actually, from some books, I found out, like just 4, but I think it need to be 5, right? Because we are living in modern life, and I'll let you know later, okay? First, we will see about the first chorus by expository. Expository does mean it's quite popular in IELTS writing touch 1 or touch 2. Let's see here is 4 main types. First, you see problem and solution. It's IELTS writing touch 2, right? We talk about environmental issue or something like that, and comparison. When you are, when you write about IELTS writing task 1 and you analyze about, bar chart or pie chart or something like that, you will have to make comparison, about the information, about, some units that you need to compare or some charts, bars, just something like that, okay? And here we also, IELTS writing task 2, you write about cause and effect. And we also have to describe or like how to we make a product from the process diagram or flowchart, right? So it's have to neutral in turn. You have to write what exactly and work it based on the fact, evidence, and analysis. Of course, first you need to have an introduction, how interesting the issue is, or how can you make people focus on your writing, right? And we also have a conclusion to summary what you had been writing before. And or do you have if they ask you an opinion or something like that, you good record it. It's fine. And let's move on to second type. Okay, here descriptive, and I will merge it together, descriptive and narrative. So derivative is like, go-betweens. Expository and negative, because negative, it just narrative, like the kinds of things that you're telling a story. Yeah, and you write out a story like that about your trip, about the city, about, a recipe of your mom when she cooks or something like that, okay? So here, you just tell a story, telling a story, and it's a very detailed, and you can say your about it quite personal, like your mom, your father, or like your siblings or something like that. And then you can give people, like strong emotion about this and strong verbs also. And descriptive here is like go between, is a personal story or, some stories that you experience. But here you just say people about traits and characteristics. It's not quite, like academic as a expository, but it's also, you need to use information, and it's just a little bit emotion for that. It just the kind of descriptive. It just you kind of a painter, who can draw a vivid picture for people. So think about that and do it. And when you read something like you imagine like, yeah, people, they are drawing a picture of recipe, of a city, of a country, or a trip or something like that, of course it's here. But if people say your story is a true story, or maybe it's not true, but it's very detailed, right? Detailed information about that story, and very strong verb and emotion, for example, like that, is a narrative. It's not descriptive, okay? And we also have, sometimes we have to face with heated debate, right? Or heated issue in our society, community, something we have to, like a social media. We are working on internet, right? The internet. And we often use the social media like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, for example. But somebody say, yeah, it's good for our work, for our, entertainment. But somebody say, no, it's not good. We can live without internet, for example, like that, okay? Maybe somebody think it's crazy, somebody else, no, it's not true, but it's fine. So with these types of writing, people, they will discuss about this, and they have to follow and accord it. Maybe somebody, they call it argumentative, or somebody, they call it, persuasive. So it depends, like it's just the same kinds, okay? So here you just have to give people evidences and logic and then emotion. Yeah, of course, we have to, like persuade the people, like it's true or it's wrong, okay? So and then, so what to think about that after reading it? If the writer can, can lead you into their opinions, of course, it's a very good writer, but it's not. Let's think, okay? So the final things here, and it's also I plus. In some books, they also plus, these types. But actually, with me, I think that we are living in modern life, and we need data, right? Yeah, data is key, and information. Data is also sometimes is information. So it's a key for our to keep going ahead. And based on data, we need to analysis, right? So here is also you answer why and how. It's also fact and evidence, but it's not, it's not the same here. Here you have to persuade the people to, like have will have same opinion like you, like a writer. But here they don't persuade you. They just let you know what it is, and they will answer why people do that. For example, why do people often use the social media every day? So we have to answer why and how. Yeah, so with this question, we also analysis, but I think it's a really big data. You need to have like more, evidences for this writing. So if you read all of things and you realize it, what type of writing am I reading? What exactly, the information is to talk about, and what the writer intended to talk to me, so that you can understand about the structure of this, and after doing that and understand about types of writing, you will understand, what you really get after this. And let's see how can we read it, okay? And now we're gonna give you 2 skills here. First, let's see about skimming skill. Everyone, look at here. It's an example of reading, okay? It's a photograph, not reading. For example, if you read, C2 Cambridge essay, or C1 or IELTS, okay, IELTS, they have a letter before, for example, like that, and then it's a photograph B, okay? So if you see it, you see a title here, right? And then you see some information here. But should we read word by word? Every time, I think it takes a long time, right? So if we know about the structure here, and what the writer, analyzed before, like this, 1, 2, 3. Okay, is introduction. Is, for example, with expository, people say, okay, it's introduction, is fact, is evidence, is analysis, and now it's a conclusion, like that. We have A, B, C, D, E, for example, like that. Okay, and then what would we read? Should we read words by words? No. Okay, right. So first, I suggest you, highly recommend you to use skimming scale. So what does a skimming scale mean? Skimming scale means you take a glance at the text and answer what the main key, or what's the keywords of this text, of the main contents of photographs, or how can they arrange, logically about photographs of the text. So it's a very important. Okay, so let's see. First, I highly suggest you to focus on title here. For example, we are talking about a city. For example, living in Dongha City, they talk about something very beautiful things in Dongha City, and the thing here, yeah, a historical city in Quảng Trị province, for example, like that. So that first they will divide, arrange, like many photographs here, and you have to answer the title before. You need to know what exactly the reading, the text is talking about, okay? And then you take a lens, take skimming scale like this. It depends how long, you can read, like you take a lens like, by lines, but actually if it's really long, I suggest you can take like this. Or even sometimes if you can read good, you can read like this. Yeah, okay. And then here. But we take, skimming scale like this, how can we understand all the things? I highly recommend you need to focus on title, of course, capital letters. If they capital, that means it's a very important content of this text or this article, okay? So that you need to focus on this and bold-faced. Yeah, here, like a Microsoft, Word, yeah. And then hyphen, of course, with hyphen, they have to, they do hyphen like this, is it like this? They want to focus on what the things they need to merge words together. Of course, it's also maybe, like compound adjective or compound noun, so they need to use it, but not at all, right? Okay, sometimes I need to make it to want the people to focus on this. And quote, okay? Yeah, maybe, a quote for definition of something, or, like a word, and then they will explain it later. So, yeah, of course, italic and underline, yeah, it's the same, right? And read it and find it out what it is. Yeah, because people, if write, I think that a writer, when they write something, they don't want to make it too complicated to people, right? They want everyone, when they read it, they understand it, and they try to make it easier. So that try to read like that and, point out what it is. And then answer what types of writing. Of course, after skimming skill, like, okay, it's my reading here and I have to read it. So take a skimming, like that, okay, skimming skill like that. And I will focus on capital, what else? Bold-faced, italic, and hyphen and quote, and something like that. And I will understand, oh, what types of writing here? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, which types of writing? Yeah. And then if I understand it, I will answer the question, what are the main contents of the text? What with the main contents, that mean the main ideas when they write it. Yeah. When they wrote it, they will focus on some ideas, and then we develop ideas, right? Of course, every ideas, like when you summary, have to be logical. Because if it's not logical, illogical, that means, it's not a test, right? You just make a route. Yeah, so that, I'm so sorry. So that you try to answer the main contents of the text. How much logical, how much they relation, among ideas. Photographs, I mean. Yeah, so that you will move on into another skill. I call it by scanning skill. Now it's not the way we, know the main ideas, the main content, or, like the types of writing and what's the main, words we need to focus on. Now we know what exactly the test talking about. So let's see. First, scanning skill, that's a skill that you understand deeply about the text. Yeah. When after reading, we want to understand about this, is that right? So that scanning skill will give you, to understand about this, and then you will answer, some questions about yourself. So, for example, here, and I will talk about this later, okay? So let's see what do accurately they write. You have to answer this. Need to answer this question. Yeah, what do accurately they write? I mean, they wrote something before, but when you read it, You have to understand about information, data, facts, and evidences, and examples if they have it, okay? So we are, like read in detailed way. How much data? What's exactly evidence or facts? When the fact happened? Where, when, why, how. If the writer mentioned everything, you have to get everything like that, all of contents like that, okay? And data, how much, how many, yeah, in which years is it happen? And then what else? Something like that. Information, after all of things, what I can get about this. And for scanning skill, after do it, you understand it and you can answer the question, what do you get from the text? From your article, from magazines, from books. And how can I absorb into the knowledge? And some reading master, they can, how can they apply it into my life and use knowledge and skill? Yeah. But before doing that, you will understand, how about your opinion? Do you agree or disagree? Maybe sometimes, inside our brain, we have some knowledge and it's against to the writer opinions when they use about, like argumentative or, persuasive, types of writing, so that they try to persuade you, they try to make you to be the same opinions, but because you had something inside, right? You have opinions, you have knowledge, and you can analyze it so that you disagree. It's a normal way, right? So all of things that you need to do for your reading skill, everyone, reading is not hard. It's just like the way how hard do we work, how hard do we read every day. And reading make beneficial for your brains. So try to read as much as you can, okay? And remember 3 steps. Number 1, what types of, like writer, you have to remember all the things here. And then we take a scheme on the test and try to find it out, what I need to focus on. You focus on the things, and then you have to answer, okay, I know all of 5 types of writing here, like Katie taught me, so that I would know what types of writing from the magazines, from articles or something like that, okay? And then what means the contents of the test? When you answer what means the content of the test, you think, yeah, it's interesting for you or not. For example, like me, when I take a skimming and I think, yeah, it's very useful. I think that it would be, more interesting and I would get more knowledge or skill from that. I will keep going on the scanning skill. And with scanning skill, I will know exactly what the author or, like writer want to mention to me. So that's also a reading skill today. And we will practice in the future in the next videos. Thanks for watching. And Katie, goodbye and see you later.